It's a terrific Tuesday shaping up. I hope you're having your first cup of coffee and ready to start your day off with us. Good morning, I'm Jiminita Swain. This is the morning edition, and to get an idea of what you can expect weather-wise, Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean joins us live in studio. Good morning, Basil.
This weather report is sponsored by Bank of the Bahamas, the bank of solutions.
Good morning, Jim and Anita. We're now down to 11 days remaining in the tropical cyclone season. We do have some activities out there. There is an area of disturbance about 200 miles to the east-northeast of the Lesser Antilles, and that's moving towards the northwest. Has about a 70% chance of developing into a tropical depression later on today, so we'll keep our eyes on it. But the good news is it will be caught up by this frontal boundary, and once that happens, it will then turn towards the north and then northeast. That will keep it over the open waters of the Atlantic. Weak frontal boundary going through the northwest Bahamas. That will be followed by a weak frontal trough. A few brief showers are likely as that system passes by. But outside of our studios, mostly cloudy, temperature at 73 degrees, relative humidity 52%, northwest winds at 13 miles per hour, the barometric pressure 1,013.0 millibars. That is 29.91 inches, and it is rising. Your temperatures around the islands this morning: 70 degrees in Marsh Harbor, Green Toll Key at 69, 69 also in Freeport, that's Grand Bahama, and the Berry Islands 73, 72 in Alistown, Bimini, Hopper Island 72, Rock Island, Lutra 73, and Alistown, Kid Island, it is 74, 69 in Stanley Key, Camp Space on Andros, also 69, 68 in Fresh Creek, Central Andros, in San Salvador and Rum Key 74 degrees, 75s in Ragged Island, Clarence-Town, Long Island, Crooked Island, Betsy Bay 78, Ackland 78, Matthew-Town, Nago 79, and the Turks and Caicos Island at 81 degrees. And if you're traveling this morning, here are some high and low temperatures you're likely to find at some of your favorite cities. That's got to do it for your travel forecast. And if you're taking those boats out this morning, here's your boating forecast for the northwest and central islands. The winds are going to be westerly at 10 to 15 knots. Wave heights 2 to 4 feet over the ocean. Your low tide, well, that will take place at 6:25 this morning. High tide at 12:27 in the afternoon. And for the southeast Bahamas, a north to northeast flow, 10 to 15 knots. Wave heights also at 2 to 4 feet. That's going to do it for your first look at weather, the morning edition. Stay tuned. Your forecast for today and tonight is still ahead.
Well, thanks, Basil. As you can see from our live tower cam shot, we have a beautiful shot of the Nassau Harbor, so you can see definitely a wonderful day shaping up. But to find out what's happening on the streets, our traffic team, Anthony Smith, is standing by. Good morning, Anthony.
The traffic report is sponsored by Bahamas First. First in insurance, today, tomorrow.
Good morning, Jiminita, and good morning, Bahamas. This morning's traffic report comes to you live from West Bay Street. We're just a little bit beyond Bahama Resort. Now, this particular area is usually filled with commuters going to and fro, trying to make that morning commute, that morning rush. And right now, the area looks well lit, but for the past 2 days, this area has been an area of concern for motorists and pedestrians alike who've been just trying to get around. All the street lights from Bahama Boulevard to Malia in the back have appeared to be off for the past 2 nights. Now, that has presented a major challenge for early morning motorists and even late night motorists. So joining us right now, we found 2 runners. A conversation with me, they told me that they usually come out at 4:30 in the morning. It's usually really, really dark. And so this has been particularly concerning for them. Thank you guys for joining us. Can you tell me how you feel about the lights?
I live in this area, and so this just did not start since 2 days ago. Last week, the same problem occurred, and so at first when I came up, I said maybe BPL is off in this area. But then as I drove along, I realized, no, it's the light switch. And even yesterday, coming home, the same thing. It was very dark. So coming out this morning, it was quite dark along the strip. And I said, why is this happening? So we're hoping that the Ministry of Works would pay attention to this and try to deal with it, not just for the tourists, but for Bahamians and for commuters who move up and down in this area on a constant basis.
So what's it like trying to drive on this road at night? I know it's hard to see people across the street and everything like that.
It's very, very difficult. I'm trying to just drive through on the strip because it's extremely dark, so you have to be very, very cautious, and you have to really pay attention, not just for yourself, but for the other motorists.
And as an athlete, as persons who run at 4:30 in the morning, it's pretty dark out there. I know that's particularly bad.
It can be dangerous, but as you notice, we have our lights. We really have to light up when we come out at night, at early mornings, because we want the traffic to see us, and we run against the traffic, or move against the traffic. However, when it's dark as this, we have to light up ourselves even more. So it's dangerous, and we don't like to use the sidewalk for running because it's not good on our joints, so we have to use the road, so it's important for us to be careful. And then Sue is going to tell us about our event that's happening Sunday in this area.
Yes, we're members of the Bahamas Roadmaster Running Club. It's a long-distance running club. We run marathons all over, internationally plus locally. The Bahamas Half is scheduled for this coming Sunday. Expo is on Saturday the 23rd. The actual run is on the 24th. It's a half marathon, 13.1. It's a 5K, 3 miles. It's a 10K also, 10 miles. So we are going to be asking the general public to please come out and assist us, because all proceeds go to charitable organization.
The thing about it, though, is that we hope the Ministry of Tourism would come and deal with it, because we're going to be out here very early trying to put cones down in the streets, and if the traffic, if they don't see those cones properly, it will cause a problem.
All right, so you want to practice caution on your daily commute. If you're an athlete, if you're a runner, you want to be able to wear those reflectors, stay vigilant, make sure people see you, especially if you're practicing for that marathon on Sunday. So for now, thank you both for joining me. That is the end of your traffic report from West Bay Street. I'm Antoinette Smith. Back to you in the studio.
Well, thanks, Anthony. Now to our top story. The Ministry of Tourism is determined to spread the word or the message to the Canadian market that the Bahamas is open for business. That despite the toll of Hurricane Dorian took on the islands of Abaco and Grand Bahama. With Canada being the second largest tourist market for the Bahamas, the ministry held a media blitz in Vancouver to drive the message home to media outlets and various tour operators. According to the Ministry of Tourism, from January to September, Canadian arrivals are ahead of the same period in 2018, and momentum has been carrying over up to the Hurricane Dorian. International arrivals and air capacity from Canada to the Bahamas has also grown. Minister of Tourism and Aviation, the Honorable Dionisio de Aguilar, says the media blitz was a major step to regain momentum in the Canadian market. Officials from a number of major hotels in the Bahamas also attended the event that is hoped will serve to strengthen sales efforts. Well, from aviation, there is a delay in the opening of the international airport in Grand Bahama. It's been almost 11 weeks since the island has been without the services. The government said it was considering purchasing the airport, as the current owner, Hutchison Ports, appeared to be reluctant to carry out repairs. It was also noted that the private airport fixed base operation will be the new site for the international airport, and construction was being carried out for a November 15th deadline, but that was not met. Minister of State for Disaster Preparedness, Management and Reconstruction, the Honorable Iram Lewis, and the Deputy Prime Minister, the Honorable K. Peter Turnquest, have this update.
Of course, we didn't hit the projected timeline, but we believe that within the next 3 to 4 days, based on what I observed yesterday, they will be ready to open certainly before the end of the month. By the end of the week coming up, it may sound optimistic, but it's very possible.
There has already committed that once the airport can receive flights, that they will resume. And we expect that the international carriers, the same way, once the airport is cleared for international passengers by the U.S. Transportation Safety Board, we should start seeing those commercial flights resume to the island. So hopefully, as Minister says, within the next couple of week or couple of weeks, we should be ready to go and hopefully restart the tourism market in a real way here on the island.
Now to other news, investment opportunities are being encouraged in Long Island. Already, a number of infrastructural developments are underway there, including the island's airport upgrade, as well as a major water improvement project. Business Development Manager at the Bahamas Development Bank, Troy Sampson, says Long Island represents a new wave of growth for investment in the Bahamas and offers fertile ground for new entrepreneurs.
Well, it's critical for the Bahamas Development Bank to bring its resources, its abilities, and its capacity to Long Island. Obviously, with our mandate being sectoral development, economic inertia is something that we work against. And so, in terms of catalyzing the economy of Long Island, we're here to see what opportunities exist, how the bank can bring its resources to bear, and to create the type of environment that we believe will be conducive to more and more people becoming business owners.
Well, the Minister of Public Works, the Honorable Desmond Bannister, is also encouraging residents to cash in on opportunities for business. Among them, a possible restaurant at the Columbus Monument site following roadworks, which allows locals and tourists easier access to the site.
I really would like to see a restaurant on top there. I think it's going to be an amazing opportunity for touristic ventures. And I hope that somebody has the entrepreneurial spirit to see what an amazing venture that could be. Because when you stand on top there, it takes your breath away to look out from that monument. And for those of you in North Long Island who don't understand, appreciate how beautiful that is, just take a few minutes to go there and see it, because it's absolutely stunning. And people will come here from all over the world to see that and be part of that.
Well, from the courts, the bribery trial of former Cabinet Minister Shane Gibson will resume today. Cross-examination is expected to continue by the defense team. Gibson has denied receiving payments and kickbacks from contractor Jonathan Ash during a cleanup effort post-Hurricane Matthew. Well, ahead in the morning edition, the benefits of virtual learning and what it could mean for the educational system in the Bahamas.
Look here, it's hurricane season right now. June 1st all the way to November 30th. Now, the peak of our hurricane season, that's when we usually get our hurricanes. It's early August up until late October. Now, Bahamians, don't get slipping because we know we last minute. Now, listen to the TVs and the radios. They can give you all the information, let you know if we get a warning or hurricane watch. Now, we get 5 different categories of hurricanes. Category 1, I like call it the Shawnee Miller Ubu hurricane. Just imagine you running a race, right? And you think you about to win, and Shawnee Miller just shoot straight past you. Imagine that breeze you feel. Category 2, you picture yourself driving in the States, right? You on the highway, and 2 big trucks shoot straight past you. You gotta move, and the whole car just shake. Please change your shingles, because I ain't picking your shingles up out my yard. No more. Category 4, Category 5, we talking about catastrophic winds. Bahamians, be prepared. Don't go nowhere. I get plenty more information I bring into you all, but I just need you all to be aware. Season.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, your hottest place on the planet for rims, tints, tires, and auto sales. We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Track Lights, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires, cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king. Blessed luck. That's how rough riders roll.
Now you can watch the ZNS network of channels absolutely free. That's right, ZNS is now broadcasting 3 separate channels, free to air on Channel 13. One channel has the regular ZNS TV HD programming. One is the Parliamentary Channel, and one is the 24/7 television community page. These channels may be accessed simply by attaching either a rabbit ears antenna or an indoor amplified antenna to the RF input connector on the back of your digital television or flat screen TV. Once the antenna is connected, select TV mode and choose Auto Scan, and your TV will automatically pick up Channel 13 at no charge. Once you're on Channel 13, just use the channel selector to go to each of the 3 ZNS free channels. Antennas are available on many sites online. Free TV, ZNS brings it back to you.
Welcome back to the morning edition. Today is being observed as International Men's Day. The focus will be on men and boys, health matters, improving gender relations between men and women, and boys and girls. It's also an opportunity for many of the issues affecting men and boys to be addressed. In studio with us to highlight the special day and the activities that are planned is, of course, the president of International Men's Day, Mr. Keith Cox, and Mr. Henry Johnson, the coordinator of the Department for Gender and Family Affairs from the Ministry of Social Services and Urban Development. Welcome, gentlemen, and good morning.
Good morning. Thank you.
Now, we will start, of course, with Mr. Johnson. Tell us more about the event that's planned today to mark International Men's Day in the Bahamas.
Well, Jamila, this morning we're having a men's symposium at the BCPOU Hall this morning at 9 a.m. to 11. And the discussion is going to be around men empowering each other. So our lineup of speakers, we're going to have Mr. Nathan Sweeting, who's a life coach, speaking on healthy lifestyles of men. We're going to have Pastor Bruce Davis from New Birth Ministries, who's speaking on men as relate to men just carrying out his role as a male. Then we have other committee members like Mr. Terrence Bethel, who's going to speak on the Division of International Men's Day Bahamas. Mr. Dave Williams speaking on understanding the role of fatherhood. And then myself and others, but particularly me, I'm going to speak on men in a changing world despite that there is hope.
Now that you're going to focus on this changing world and there being hope, of course, what are some of the challenges that you feel that men encounter which makes it necessary to hold events such as this one?
Men in society sometimes have a barrier when they are unable to find jobs. They feel downtrodden and not being able to provide for family and friends, so they go and take a back seat and sometimes find themselves in some social ill stuff that is not good and positive for male at large. But we're hoping that today, that despite that, we could be able to show men whatever your challenge may be, there's always hope at the end of the day.
So the hope is the key message that you want people to walk away with.
That is going to be my topic to discuss, yes, and hope will be my main driving thrust to encourage them today.
Well, of course, President Mr. Cox, you are also a key person involved in this symposium. So give us an idea. You've been working year-round to tackle some of the issues. Talk to us about the impact some of these issues are having, not only on men, but boys as well.
Well, in the Bahamas, men get bad name first and foremost. And so we gather information and people around us who can address these issues. We have 2 groups that deals with boys. There's a group at the LW Young, it's called RISE, and there's a group at CV Bethel, it's called the Elite Group, and they deal with at-risk boys. And the good thing about it is they deal with different segments. We try to get to the boys before they get to another segment of our group, which is the prison. And then we get groups that are dealing with the men in the prison, and then we get groups that are dealing with men after prison.
So if I could just interject there. At risk, we often hear this term, but just for persons that may be unclear on what it means, what does it mean when you say a young man is at risk?
Okay, a lot of us grow up in single family parent. I am a protege of a single parent. My mom had countless kids. But for me, what helped me was the Boys Brigade. What helped me was the church and the lodge. Nowadays, the young men are not driven or sent to these areas because these areas are now falling. A long time ago, we had the Boys Brigade band was the biggest band in the country. Mm-hmm. Now it's like I'm not downing them, but now it's like a little defunct.
Seems to be a fall off.
It seems to be a fall off. So if you can get these organizations back up and running, it will help them, because it helped me, so definitely could help them.
And obviously you're going to be honoring some men today.
Yes.
You want to talk to us a little bit about
Yes.
that as well?
We're going to be honoring 2 men. First, we're going to be honoring Colin Johnson, who is the principal of the Iron Bailey School. I had an opportunity to visit him yesterday, day before yesterday, and he said something so profound. He noticed when the children came into orientation, 95% of them were led by the mother. Where are the fathers? And you know what he did? He turned around and had Father's Day in October. Father's Day is normally a June.
It's June event.
June event. Mm-hmm. And he said, you know what? I got to call these fathers together to enhance them and to encourage them. And then we're going to be honoring Mr. Wade Watson. Mr. Wade Watson coaches basketball like all year round. Doesn't care if it's raining or whatever. He has his private job, his personal job, but he take time out and go into different communities all around the Bahamas, just trying to teach men and boys, girls, the skills of basketball, and there's discipline in sports.
That sounds like a wonderful event planned for today. So, gentlemen, thank you for coming on the Morning Edition and talking to us about the event. I wish you a successful event and a wonderful day.
Yes.
Thank you for having us.
Well, countless college hopefuls fill out applications annually vying to get a coveted spot at their college or university of choice when the number of students who will actually get in is limited. In this report, college and university representatives share with Cleopatra Murphy the steps you can take.
Many high schoolers with aspirations of entering college or university in the fall of 2020 have either decided what school they want to attend or have narrowed down their choices. For those who have not, with application deadlines for early admission approaching, now is the time to do so. When it comes to setting yourself apart from other applicants, Basil Malky, first-year advisor at Canada-based University of Prince Edward Island, says grades are crucial.
In Canada, it's mostly focused on academics, so try to get that high average in your studies, in your undergraduate studies. If you're looking to do masters later on, also keep up the average. There are also scholarships that we offer in the university based on academics, based on some essays, based on basically achievement.
Closer to home at Florida Memorial University, international recruiter Alejandra Pinder says the focus is the same, but they waived the SAT.
We love our academically inclined school. We love a variety of students to be well-rounded, and so therefore we are kind of different on our GPA, which is a 3.6 to get a full tuition scholarship to match the PSSP.
Vice President of Enrollment Management at Buena Vista University, Kevin McIntyre, says the university's average SAT requirement is between 1050 and 1080, but students can also do this to stand out.
We generally recommend they visit the campus. You can only put so much on paper, and a good resume is fine, but if students have been involved in theatrical productions, or if they've been in a choral group, or if they've been a student athlete or a student leader, they can put those things on paper, but it comes across much stronger when they interview on campus and perhaps meet with their admission counselor or a faculty member or the director of the choral group or whoever it is. They can actually explain what they've done.
At Bethune-Cookman University, Billy DeJuste says grades are key, but the university also likes diversity.
We look for well-rounded students, not just academics. We love for our students to get involved in the community. We have an entrepreneurship mindset. That's something Dr. Cried himself, he pushes. He preaches that every single day. No matter what your program is, no matter what your interests are, it's always great to have that entrepreneurship mindset, which allows you to have your, a goal for the future.
Other tips to applicants who want to make their applications count are write a vivid essay, do your research on your school of choice, and if necessary, send supplemental material. School representatives say they also want to see students who can display leadership, who can in turn transmit those qualities onto their campuses. Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
Well, thanks, Cleo. Director General of the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, or UNESCO, Audrey Azoulay, has offered the Bahamas the organization's assistance with technical advice and financial assistance to promote distance learning in the aftermath of Hurricane Dorian. Azoulay, who is serving a 4-year term at the organization's helm, made the offer Friday during the 40th session of UNESCO's General Conference held in Paris, France. Her offer of support followed a presentation from the Minister of Education, the Honorable Jeffrey Lloyd, who also informed her of the challenges facing the educational system in the country post-Hurricane Dorian. The assistance from UNESCO would also provide offline content in areas with limited or no internet connection and other sustainable development initiatives. The Minister of Education was also joined by the Acting Secretary General of the Bahamas National Commission for UNESCO, Deidre Bevins, and the Deputy Director of Education, Julian Anderson. Well, the virtual classroom is something that we've been hearing about for quite some time from educational officials. However, one local school is actually putting it to the test, affording its students the opportunity for a dual diploma. Take a look.
I like the fact that I can learn individually by myself.
15-year-old Dashia Moss is taking full advantage of the e-learning platform, having relocated to the capital following Hurricane Dorian. For her, the program is seamless. She's one of several students taking advantage of the virtual learning platform being offered by Discovery Learning and Development Center. Tanya McFall of Global Conversations Development Center explains how the program came about.
What the American High School Caribbean platform is an e-learning platform which provides junior and high school courses, adult learners, and an American diploma program that students here in the Bahamas are able to achieve an American diploma while studying at home.
School Administrator Iman Williamson says the program was launched in September and the school saw it as a way to broaden the learning scale for students. He explains how students interact with the platform.
So she has a English book now. She's reading over her assignment and then she goes into a platform. You could just click onto the platform so they could see. And once she goes into the platform, like I told you, the curriculum is designed for that particular age level or grade level. So once they sign up from just like grade 9 September, we give them the full curriculum for that entire school year.
McFall says the program offers many benefits.
Parents have the opportunity to watch the progress of their children, no matter where they are, no matter what time of day it is. They're able to access the platform and see the progress of their children. Additionally, we also have the Ask a Real Teacher platform, which has Bahamian and international teachers that can assist students with questions and answers at any time of the day.
14-year-old Delia Ferguson had this to say about the program.
I actually do enjoy it without getting disturbed from that classroom, and I actually rather using technology instead because of my generation.
As for Dashia, the experience with Dorian was scary, but she's happy to have the opportunity to continue her studies.
I'm actually grateful to be alive and grateful that my parents actually sent me here to have a better education instead of having me in Abaco.
Well, World AIDS Day is normally observed around the globe on December 1st each year. However, one New Providence school is getting a head start on raising awareness. The HNS Junior High School was the site of this year's school's assembly on HIV and AIDS. Each year, the National HIV and AIDS Center selects a school and carves out a day to educate students on the disease and the stigmas surrounding it. During the short assembly, the host of last year's event were also presented with a special award. Now, although the assembly was 2 weeks shy of the World AIDS Day, Acting Director Bernishka Lewis explained how it's important for students to get involved.
The last World AIDS Day school assembly was held at Doris Johnson, and Doris Johnson, as a school, they decided to raise funds, and they used those funds to purchase care packages, and so that was just a gesture for us to show our appreciation to them for that. We want to do the school assembly because we feel that our young persons, they need to be made aware about HIV and the AIDS epidemic. And coming near to December 1st, the school schedules are pretty tight with exams, so HO9 was graceful enough to allow us to come a few weeks early.
Well, it was also spoke on how youth can play a critical role in raising awareness.
This year, the theme for World AIDS Day is Communities Make the Difference, and youth are young people. They're part of the community. They can make a difference in terms of ending stigma and discrimination against persons living with HIV, and stigma and discrimination is one of the major barriers to persons actually accessing care for HIV. Additionally, our young persons, we want to encourage them, make them aware that HIV still exists and that they are not immune to it, so we want to make sure that they're aware and that they protect themselves and avoid becoming new HIV infections.
You're watching the Morning Edition. Stay with us. There's more after the break.
It's time for the best of the best regatta, December 5th through 8th. See the best boats, the best crews, the best skippers, all compete in the best harbor. And on land, the best onshore activities. With the action on the water and the fun on the shore, there's something for everyone. And at night, check out the best in Bahamian entertainment. It's the best of the best regatta, December 5th through 8th. Be there.
Hey, have you heard? ZNS is everywhere you are when you download the new ZNS app. Whether you're on the move or just kicking back. Miss something on the news? It's there. Want to keep up with a live update? It's there. Or just want to listen to your favorite station? It's there too. Download the app now from the App Store and Google Play Store.
Our marine resources were once considered inexhaustible. Conch and reef fish like grouper were abundant everywhere, and it seemed as if the lobster catch would rise forever. But today, there is a downward trend that affects everyone. Researchers say we can reverse the trend by protecting more marine habitats. And the good news is that most Bahamians strongly support efforts to halt further decline. Tripling the size of our network of marine parks will mean more fish and conch for everyone now and for the future, as well as more recreational and ecotourism opportunities. Today, only 10% of our waters are protected. Surveys show that most Bahamians consider protection of our marine environment to be a top national priority. More protection means more benefits for everyone, now and in the future. It's a win-win-win strategy for the economy, for Bahamians, and for nature. Protect our sea, protect our way of life, protect the Bahamas. See the future. Visit Bahamas Protected on Facebook to learn more about marine protected areas.
The natural resources of the Bahamas play a critical role in supporting Bahamian livelihoods. For example, the fishing and tourism industry, which include fishermen, seafood exporters, hoteliers, dive operators, restaurants, and others. Collectively, they generate approximately $1.5 billion a year. Therefore, we must respect and preserve what we have. These resources belong to us.
This is my livelihood.
This is my livelihood.
This is my livelihood.
So let's all do our part to maintain our local economy and a good quality of life. Remember, if we take care of nature, nature will take care of us.
Welcome back to the Morning Edition. Over in Grand Bahama, a government team along with private sector agencies took a tour of Sweetens Key to get an accurate assessment of the damage that community suffered so that the rebuilding process can begin. Here is Atalia Hall.
The island of Sweetens Key was severely damaged by Hurricane Dorian and has left many with nowhere to live. It is said that some 40 residents still remained on the island, and a number of families are forced to live in tents. During the tour, the weather conditions were not good, but officials walked from one end of the island to the next to assess the damage incurred by Hurricane Dorian. The Minister of State for Disaster Preparedness, Management, and Reconstruction, the Honorable Iram Lewis, says this assessment will help his ministry decide how homes will be constructed in Sweetens Key going forward.
There are some consistencies with what we experienced in Abaco. three major factors. One was wind loading. Second was the surge. And of course, number three was human error. So again, we must have a closer oversight of reconstruction. There will be some fortification of our code, obviously. And of course, then there must be some enforcement of the code. We are also here to see how we can bring relief to the residents in terms of temporary housing, because of course persons want to be out of the city.
The Lignum Vitae Development Organization based in New Providence was also a part of the tour. Simone Smith-Bain says they plan on assisting the government in building temporary homes on Sweetings Key. Each home is expected to cost some $15,000 to $20,000.
Their homes will consist of 2-bedroom units with a bathroom and a kitchen area. Those are hopefully to sustain a family of maybe 4 or more. And we would look to try and secure them on the current foundations that are available, and also possibly have another little unit area for them to reside in. This is a full-phase approach for us. We, as a development company, are looking to try and move, get things and secure, and then possibly move into other phases as it goes on to ensure that these residents are back to normalcy at some point. So it's to bring some stability to the community at the end of the day.
Deputy Prime Minister, the Honorable K. Peter Turnquist, says the containerized homes will be a major asset.
The homes that are being proposed certainly are look to be comfortable. We are aware of the building techniques. Those who would know the dormitories at the College of the Bahamas or University of the Bahamas is that kind of construction. And if you look at that particular structure at the University of the Bahamas, while the facade, the exterior may have been damaged, the container home or the container units themselves actually remain in place. So it's relatively safe from that perspective in the untrained eye anyway. And so we're excited about the possibility. It will help the displaced residents to come back to their communities and to start to put life back together in some way.
Now, according to the organization, that project is expected to commence within 30 days. It's Halia Hall, ZNS Network News.
In other news, organizers of the Miss Bahamas competition completed an important aspect of the upcoming Miss World competition, the Beauty with a Purpose fundraising project. It showcased a number of local designers, with the highlight of a fashion show being Miss World 2018 Vanessa Ponce de Leon strutting the catwalk. Event organizer Michelle Malcolm says with this project having the potential to propel Miss Bahamas 2019 Naya Bandelier to the semi-finals set for December 14th in London, it was no surprise that the focus for the project was Hurricane Dorian relief.
Naya was extremely busy as a queen following the storm, volunteering with many NGOs, going to the shelters, raising money at a function that we held in conjunction with Starlight Global Foundation as an example. Over $15,000 was raised in an effort to assist her with the Beauty with a Purpose project, and we're very, very proud of the work that she's done.
Well, during a visit, Miss World 2018 Vanessa Ponce de Leon was more than willing to assist Miss Bahamas World, which the sharing the story of rebuilding while having some fun. She says back in 2012, she had the chance to visit Abaco, and today is proud that she's a part of the rebuilding efforts.
7 years ago, it's such a long time ago, and I actually went to Abaco, which is totally destroyed now, and it just broke my heart to see it like that. But this is why we're doing this. I really go to a lot of fundraising events, but here in the Bahamas, it feels like I'm with family from a very long time. Like, you go out, everyone's cheering for you, and we just want to do the best thing for the people that we're helping, the people from the Hurricane Dorian that are trying to move on.
Also, members of the African Methodist Episcopal Church assembled here for their 80th annual conference. Speaking at the Robinson Morrison AME Church in Ridgeland Park West, Senior Bishop Reverend Adam Richardson Jr. noted that the conference comes at a critical time in the church's development, as engagement with the next generation of religious leaders comes with a new twist: social media.
The young people tonight will be streaming live, using Facebook and all kinds of ways to say, listen, we are in church, we're spreading the message of hope and love and peace. Why don't you come over? So we're our young people are very much involved in social media. We think they're spreading the message of love and hope and of salvation and liberation. So media is a very positive thing for us. So we've been around for a long time spreading the message of Jesus Christ. We believe that our gospel is twofold. It is about liberation and salvation.
Well, host pastor for the AME conference, Reverend Dr. Ranford Patterson, says the conference facilitated a number of important activities for the local district, including a women's night and youth event. The church also made a donation to the National Emergency Management Agency in the amount of some $30,000. Patterson says helping those in need remains an important job of the AME church.
When there's a disaster or problem, the first place that everybody runs to is the church. When people are hungry, the church feed them. The naked, we clothe them. They need help for housing, we help them. The problem is sometimes, well, most of the time, we don't go on radio and television and say what we do for the community. We just do it.
Well, we see Charles Fisher now joins us in studio. What's coming up in sports? Are you going to behave?
It is Father's Day, so there was a good interview you had, so I'm going to behave today. Well, coming up in sports, we're going to go on down to the National Tennis Center where some of the top junior tennis players in the world are here, and the Bahamian players, they are holding their own, so we're looking forward to that. Also, Buddy Hield was hit in the water yesterday. You know, he signed that big contract where the NBA took some from him yesterday.
So he can afford it.
Yeah, he can afford that. That's a drop in the bucket.
Well, stay with us. Sports is up next.
Explore the world of agriculture with us. Join me, your host, Carla Palmer, for continued adventures in agriculture and the marine environment as we head into Season 2 of the program, Agriculture Now. That's Agriculture Now, moving to a new date and time, Wednesdays at 8 p.m. and Saturdays at 9 a.m., right here on the ZNS Television Network.
Hey, y'all, what's up?
Hey, what's that?
What y'all getting?
Listen, I've been waiting to march down some lobster, yeah?
Hi, I'm Matthew. I will be you guys waiter today. Can I take your order?
Oh, I've been queuing for some grouper dread.
Y'all see this?
See, this ain't gonna work. Where the fish gone, though?
But how, though?
Don't leave our children with no fish in their future. Protect our sea. Protect our way of life. Protect the Bahamas. To learn how you can help, find us on Facebook at Bahamas Protected. See the future.
Once again, let's take a trip on down to the National Tennis Center. That's the International Tennis Federation. Gombe Splash getting into full swing Monday over there at Denali Nordich in the first match of the day. Got the Bahamas off to a good start with a 6-2-1 win over Canadian Alec Tokay.
Both of us played well. Both of us weren't holding serve, so it was the battle of who could hold serve. And it was a good match.
Jacoby Bain will swing into first round play this morning, also against Canadian Andres Petzali. He comes in as the number 2 seed, having just fallen short by one match of winning the whole thing last year.
I'm looking forward to this year's tournament. Last year I did pretty good, so I'm just looking forward this year to do even better. Been playing a lot of matches, getting a lot of match experience, so just doing this a lot is going to help me a lot through this week.
What's it going to take for Jacoby to emerge to win up this year's tournament?
Just to play smart tennis and just try to play my best and give it my all.
Sydney Clark is back to defend her crown. She won it all last year, but won't be on court until Wednesday as the #1 seed.
I can't wait to hit the courts and play the competition. And so a lot of the girls are really good, so I'm going to be on my A game this week. Practices leading up to this were very good. I've been doing a routine and sticking to it, so when I came here, just keeping the same habits, good habits, so I don't break them, and then just go on the court and continue playing how I was playing in practice, just transfer it over into the match.
Think you can pull it off this year?
Yes, I'm looking forward to pulling it off again. I did it last year, so hopefully I can do the same thing 2 times in a row.
Over 20 countries represented in this year's tournament by more than 60 players, both boys and girls. 2 of them happy to play here, Peyton Anderson and Maya Battle from the United States.
It's going to be very exciting as always. It's a lot of fun playing at home. So good experience in a good home crowd. It's going to be have an advantage as well because I know how some players play. I know what game I should play for those players and just can't wait to get back on the court.
I'm really excited to be playing out here today. It's a really amazing experience just getting to be involved with the culture. And this is only my 3rd ITF, so I'm really excited to go out here. It's actually been an amazing experience. Everyone's been very welcoming. I've enjoyed really meeting a lot of different people, and just the atmosphere is great.
Well, the NBA hitting Buddy Hield in the pocket after Sunday's dramatic 1-point win over the Boston Celtics that saw the ball twirl around and eventually fell off the rim. Buddy, in excitement, kicked the ball into the stands. For that, the NBA fining him $25,000.
I'm a loud guy on this team, so I try to speak loud with my actions, the way I carry myself on the court, on and off the court, and I'll just set example. And when I'm not making shots or playing high spirits, somebody else say, "What's wrong with you?" So I think the team feeds off my energy. So whatever I do, I always got to keep the right mindset. Whether it's missing or I'm hitting, just bring the energy, same energy I do each and every day, and teammates thrive off of that, and that's big.
Buddy and the Kings will be back on the court tonight. They will be taking on the Phoenix Suns, who beat them in the first game of the season. But this time around, they won't have Bahamian DeAndre Ayton, who's still suspended.
They're playing really well. And Coach Monty's doing a great job with them. And Devin is playing efficient basketball. He's locked in, and he's the rookie. Ricky is helping the team going, and the way he's playing is, they all playing together as a group, and the head of snake is Devin. Wherever they go, he go, but Monty's doing a good job keeping them locked in, and the record speaks for itself. They're doing really well, and you got to be locked in and stay focused, man, up for the challenge.
Well, Jonquil Jones starring for her adopted country. Jones finished with 29 points and 16 rebounds to lead Bosnia and Herzegovina to a 70-69 win over Russia in the first round of the Eurobasket 2021 qualification.
Really good. I think we came out with a lot of good energy. Slightly disappointed with the score. I felt like we could have beat them by more, but it's just an experience for us to learn and get better. But altogether, we walked away from these qualifiers being 2-0, beating a great Russian team, and setting ourselves up for Eurobasket, so it's going to be awesome. I think as long as we play team basketball, we're really, really good, and I'm really excited for the future. I think that we can go beyond Eurobasket, not looking too far ahead, but I think that we can be a team that definitely does well for Bosnia. Oh, yeah, I'm feeling the love from Bosnia for sure, and ever since I got the passport, I've considered myself Bosnian, so when I put on that jersey, I take it very seriously, and I want to do well for the country and make the country proud.
The University of the Bahamas Mingos men's basketball team headed to Florida this past weekend for 2 games in the opener. Friday, they lost to Florida North in a close game, 110-92. Then on Saturday, taking on the host school team at the Edward Waters Thanksgiving Classic. Also lost a close one here, 70-69. Now, despite the loss, the Mingos proved that they could compete with the big boys.
In the second half, we lost our composure. We was just straddling, going along with the motion. I think the intensity wasn't high enough like the first quarter and the first half.
This is a back-to-back. Very rarely we get opportunities to play back-to-back, and we're trying to adjust. We had
starters played heavy minutes last night and had to come again out tonight and play some heavy minutes. You saw we got early foul problems with Sylvester, and he had to come in late in the second half, and it's kind of difficult to get the cohesion back. But, the guys did their very best. We were there. We just didn't execute at the very end, the last, I'll say, minute and a half. And just like, the previous game, we have to be able to stay under control at the end of games and win close games. But that comes with age and experience.
Now, the Bahamas Government Departmental Softball Association closed their doors on the 2019 season with an awards banquet. Now, during that time, President Dwayne Stevens made an announcement some may not want to have heard at that time.
I'm not offering for re-election. I hope my predecessor, the individual that would come after me, would even get a league to greater heights. We had a great partnership with the National Sports Authority, Mr. Quentin Brennan and his team here, Mr. Lawrence Eburn, Mr. Andy Ford. We worked together to bring enhancements to the Blue Hills playing complex. We're focusing on getting the infrastructure that we play on up to an international level. I would not be in presidential office, but I would be working in the background to ensure that we offer a level of softball that is compatible to that internationally.
So Slope is softball looking for a new president, Dwayne Stevens, not going back in. And don't forget the Bahamas Lawn Tennis Association, in association with the International Tennis Federation. Gombe Splash continues this morning over there at the National Tennis Center. First swing is at 9 o'clock. Go on down, please cheer on those youngsters. That's going to do it for Sports Tuesday. I'm Charles Fisher. Thanks for watching.
Hepatitis is the inflammation of the liver, which is the organ responsible for filtering toxins from the body, producing bile for digestion, and producing proteins and clotting factors. The most important cause of hepatitis worldwide is viruses, of which there are 5 main types: A, B, C, D, and E. Hepatitis B and C are major health challenges globally, affecting over 300 million persons worldwide. The suspicion of hepatitis may be a challenge, as there are typically no symptoms. However, if infected, non-specific symptoms may include decreased appetite, nausea, vague abdominal discomfort, jaundice or yellow eyes, and abnormal liver function tests. If not treated, hepatitis of any type can lead to cirrhosis and liver cancer, which leads to over 1 million deaths worldwide. If you suspect you may have been exposed to the virus that causes hepatitis, talk to your doctor today and get tested.
This public service announcement is brought to you by the Public Hospitals Authority in conjunction with the Medical Association of the Bahamas and the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
Hey, long time no see. You hear me?
Long time no see.
Boiled fish, stew conch. I love it all.
Tourists come here to take our tours, experience our sun, sand, and sea, and they also spend money around town.
I used to see a bunch of hogfish around here, but nowadays, I hardly see any.
You protect one area, the fish do their thing, make a bunch of babies, that spread all over the sea. What's the problem?
If we protect certain parts of our sea, it keeps all parts working right.
I was against that phase, but knowing what I know now, I totally agree with having marine protected areas.
I support marine protected areas.
We support marine protected areas.
Look for Bahamas Protected on Facebook.
Sign the petition. Sign the petition.
In our final look at what 11 days now remaining in the official hurricane season, but we have an area of disturbed weather that we're monitoring some 200 miles to the east-northeast of the northern Leeward Islands, and that's going to move towards the west over the next several hours before turning north and then eventually towards northeast. We'll be caught up with this frontal boundary that will keep it over the open waters, and once that interact with that frontal system, we expect it to quickly waste away. But over the Bahamas, we have a weak frontal system that's marching through the northwest Bahamas that will maintain the cool conditions for a few more days, and our forecast for today called for partly sunny and pleasant conditions, high temperature around 79 degrees, and tonight looking at partly cloudy with a brief passing shower or two, low temperature getting down to 69 degrees, and the extended weather forecast looking like this, temperatures in the 70s during the daytime. Wouldn't be until about Saturday before we see some 80s. Those nighttime temperatures once again will drop into the 60s. So a pretty nice a week shaping up weather-wise. Safe for Thursday. We have some clouds move back into the forecast, and that's due to a weak troughing that will pass over the northwest Bahamas tomorrow heading into Thursday. Jiminator?
Well, thanks, Basil. You're looking at a live shot of eastern New Providence from our tower cam. But that's going to do it for the morning edition this Tuesday. I hope you enjoy the remainder of your day, and I look forward to you waking up with me tomorrow. I'm Jiminita Swain. Have a great day.